Hello and welcome back after a well-deserved rest. So I'm hoping you're feeling ready for these 5 weeks of the half term and then we can break off for Easter. Already thinking ahead, but we've got so much to fit in and we are on to a new part of our wonderful text, The Island at the End of Everything. So I'm super excited to show you the extract and to carry on moving through this wonderful book. So first of all, for these next 3 days, we are going to be looking at completing a call task. So today you are going to read the initial extract from the book titled The Island at the End of Everything. After reading the extract, you will complete your reading call task. The call task includes questions from all of the content domains that you have previously covered. You're going to use your knowledge of how to answer these questions today. And over the course of the unit, we'll be working from this extract and we'll have opportunities to edit and improve our call task. Now, I have made a mistake. I have sneakily used resources already that Mrs. T has provided, which is me being super efficient, and we are not actually using the initial extract because we're not going from the very beginning. We are going from the part that we have actually got up to for reading for pleasure. So please ignore that. Thank you very much. Okay, so the call task will be spread over 3 sessions, I've already mentioned. Unlike any normal test situations, the questions will be read aloud to you, and then you'll have time to answer them. A description of each of the content domains will be given in order to help you to recognise what you need to do to answer the questions. So let's get crack-a-lacking. So session 1 for today. 2A, so we're looking at this objective to give and explain the meaning of words in context. And our obvious monster is mana. So to be able to achieve our objective to give and explain the meaning of words in context, we're going to be looking at what the word is, reading around the word, thinking about words that are similar in meaning and words that are opposite in meaning, and would they fit in that sentence? Would they fit the context that we are looking at? What is the root word? Are there any prefixes or suffixes added to those words? Does it have a capital letter? Thinking about what is the word class of it. Can I picture an image in my head? Can I draw that image to help me visualize and understand it even more? And yes, like I've said, we're looking at that. What type of word is it? Is it a noun, an adjective, a verb, pronoun, preposition, adverb? Okay. And most of all, thinking, have I heard this word before, and in what context have I heard it? Okay. The and at the end of everything. And our text is this wonderful extract. And I will read it to you, and hopefully you'll also read it independently. It only takes the builders 4 days to construct Mr. Zamora's hut. Once they install a bolt on the door, he moves in straight away. He spends his days and nights in the hut. Sometimes we hear him hammering inside, and I think he must be hanging his butterfly collection. He orders the men back to build him a separate workshop, which has such precise specifications. I hear one of the builders complaining it will take them 3 times as long. Marie and I spend all our time together. We play hopscotch and hide and seek and sit next to each other in class. The boys are very loud, so Kidlak comes to play with us a lot. He has stopped crying so much and even laughs sometimes. I mentioned in my letter to Nanny, so hopefully she can tell his parents I'm looking after him. Soon after Mrs. Zamora moves into his hut, a quiet, cat-eyed woman called Mayumi arrives to help Sister Teresa with the housework. But Mayumi spends less time cleaning and more time helping Lupo with cooking. She also stays with him in his little hut, which makes the nun suck her teeth. Mrs. Zamora only emerges from his hut to walk down to town. He does this every day at 10 in the morning. He is back just after morning lessons end. We hear him whistling tunelessly, and he goes into his hut with a box under his arm. So that is our wonderful text for today and the next 3 days. And here are your questions for the call task. Now, it is super important that you go back and revisit and read that text as many times as you need to in order to find the answers to your questions. Because the words that we are looking at, the text will help and inform your answers. They'll help you understand the word in context, look for a word that you can replace it with, a word that is similar or a word that is opposite in meaning. So your first 6 questions today are on using Mana's skills about monitoring vocabulary and looking to define the words and looking to understand its meaning. So number 1, give 2 examples of what you find out about Mr. Zamora from the sentence. Once they install a bolt on the door, he moves in straight away. Number 2, find and copy 2 phrases that shows that Mr. Zamora is a recluse. Number 3, what does the word orders tell you about how Mr. Zamora treats the builders? Number 4, in the group of words and even laughs sometimes, what does the word sometimes tell you about how Kidlat is adjusting to his new life at the orphanage? Number 5, find and copy a group of words that tells you that Mr. Zamora is regimented. And number 6, in the group of words, so hopefully she can tell his parents, what does the word hopefully tell you about the writer? Now, this is an independent task. This is completely down to you to have a really good go at answering these questions, referring back to the text to find your answers. Once you complete this independently, I'll be able to go through each question with you to help you understand the answer, and you can edit and improve if you need to. So good luck with today's core task, and you should pause the video now so that we can go through the answers once you've completed it. Good luck, guys. Question number 1, you have to give 2 examples of what you find out about Mr. Zamora from the sentence, once they install a bolt on the door, he moves in straight away. So my answers for this, giving 2 examples, number 1, that he likes his privacy, and once they install a bolt tells me that he wants everyone shut out, he wants to be by himself inside of his hut. So he likes to keep everything private and to himself. And number 2, he is desperate to escape the main house, all the hustle and bustle of the orphanage, and attend to his project. He wants to escape that and just get in and crack on with what he needs to do with regards to his butterflies. Question number 2 was to find and copy 2 phrases that shows that Mr. Zamora is a recluse. Now, you may have never heard the word recluse before, and you may have heard of it before, but the word recluse actually means that they like to avoid other people. They keep themselves to themselves. So you might have got that idea about Mr. Zamora from this text, and then the evidence that you should have pulled from the extract is that he spends his days and nights in the hut, so he's got no real contact, he's not communicating with anybody, he's in there by himself. And then number 2, Mr. Zamora only emerges from his hut to walk down to town. So there are 2 examples there that show you that he likes to keep himself to himself, and he avoids any social interaction with anybody else. He tries to, not speak to anybody. He likes to spend time by himself, and that is what a recluse is, avoiding that social interaction. Number 3, what does the word orders tell you about how Mr. Zamora treats the builders? So Mr. Zamora is in a position of authority and is a demanding and controlling person. So the word, when you're ordering somebody to do something, you are telling them you're in an authoritative position and you're being quite demanding and controlling. So you're telling them exactly what you want them to do. So that's what it tells you about Mr. Zamora and how he treats the builders, is that he's quite demanding. He doesn't really care about what they want to do. He is demanding and he's telling them what to do. Number 4, in the group of words and even laughs sometimes, what does the word sometimes tell you about how Kidlat is adjusting to his new life at the orphanage? So adjusting, saying how is he adapting to his new way of life at this new home with all these different children. So Kidlat is still wary and has not fully settled into the orphanage, but feels warm and safe around Amayan and Marie. So Kidlat is a bit cautious. He's still feeling a bit uneasy. He's got his guard up a bit. He's still figuring out what's going on in the at the orphanage, but he's sometimes feeling, warm, and he's feeling happy around the people that are making him smile, which is Amayan and Marie. But only sometimes. So he's not still settled in fully. And number 5, find and copy a group of words that tells you that Mr. Zamora is regimented. So again, you may not have heard of the word regimented, but you could maybe guess from the text something about his character and the way he is. So you may think that he is really organised and he likes his routine. And that's what regimented means, is really strictly organised, and he controls every aspect of his life. And the word he does this every day at 10 in the morning shows that he does have a regimented lifestyle. He likes routine. He every day at 10 o'clock goes out of his hut and does what he needs to do. So that shows that he is really controlled and likes to micromanage every part of his life. Sorry, not bye-bye. Just one last thing. Please remember to edit and improve your answers with purple pen on paper if you are in class or working on a paper pack, and in purple font on Teams, please, to show that you have watched this video and gone through the video to look at the discussion with the about the answers. So please make sure you have done that before submitting your work by pressing the hand in button. Thank you.